Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're working on Unit 6, Lesson 15 for Language Arts. And today we are going to read and write the plural form of nouns. We're also going to ask and answer questions about key details in the story The Visit. So as a review, a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. Now, sometimes we have plural nouns, and plural means more than one. For example, I don't just have one cupcake here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 cupcakes. So instead of saying 6 cupcake, I would say 6 cupcakes. Because plural words can end in either S or ES. So we have some rules that we follow when we're writing or reading plural nouns. Usually we just add the letter S to the end of a noun to make it plural. For example, instead of saying 1 crayon, if I have many crayons, I add the letter S. Other times we add ES to the end of nouns. And we do that when a noun ends in the letters CH or SH. So here are the example of 1 branch. Here are 2 branches. I added the ES to the end of branch to make it a plural noun. Same for this brush. Here's 1 brush. Here are 2 brushes. I added ES to the end of the word brush to make it a plural noun. And I added ES because we need to do that when the word ends with SH. We also add ES to nouns that end in S and X. So I change the noun dress into the plural noun dresses. I add ES because it ends with the letter dress ends with the letter S. I change 1 axe into the plural noun axes because axe ends with the letter X. So today in Class Kick, you're going to be sorting plural nouns by their ending sound. So some plural nouns end it with the letter S and make the S sound. For example, cats or hats. If I change hat to the plural noun hats, I add the letter S and it makes the S sound. But other times when we add the letter S to the end of a noun to make it a plural noun, it makes the Z sound, like in the word dogs. Or if I change kid to kids, the S at the end of the word makes the Z sound. Other plural nouns make the Z sound at the end. For example, foxes, or lunches, or wishes. Well, those words that make that sound as at the end are spelled with an ES. For your Class Kick work, this is kind of what it's going to look like. Here's the S sound, the Z sound, and the S sound. So let's look at these first 3 words. Cats, I would write underneath the S sound because I hear S at the end of cats. Dogs, I would write under the Z sound because I hear the Z sound at the end of dogs. Foxes, I would write underneath the S sound because I hear it's at the end of foxes. So when you're doing your work on Class Kick, just make sure that every word that you read sounds right. For example, if I were to read this word cats, that doesn't sound correct. Cat does, no. This word has to be cats. So if you're not sure, make sure that it sounds right before you write your answer. We're also going to be reading the story The Visit. And in today's story, we're going to be using our 5 senses. Do you remember what the 5 senses are? Here's a short piece of text about a visit to Grandma, and the words highlighted in purple show the 5 senses that we use every day, and this is what they might sound like when we read. When I visited my grandma, I heard her talk to me. We tasted yummy food, and I felt a hug when I saw her. Her house smelled like chocolate chip cookies. So when reading that, I realized that I used the 5 senses, or the author used their 5 senses when they visited Grandma. Their sense of hearing, of taste, of touch, of sight, and of smell. Here are some vocabulary words that we're going to come across. Flip-flops. Now we're all familiar with those because we live in San Diego. Flip-flops are sandals that you would wear probably to the beach or maybe on a warm day. Here's a cove, and if you look at the picture, you'll notice that it's a small area of land surrounded by water. Now behind here in the very background, you can see the ocean. So a cove, it's an area of land that's been carved out by some water. We're going to read the word wade. If you wade in water, like these dogs are doing, you're going into a shallow area of water. Yelping. Yelping is a high-pitched sound that someone might make when they're in distress or in trouble. This bird, I think right here, is yelping, maybe for its mother or food or maybe a friend. Yelping is a high-pitched noise. We're going to come across these spellings. It's a N sound spelled with the letters K-N in the word knapsack. The S sound spelled with the letter C in the words nice, place, and exercise. And other 2-syllable words, frisbee, sunscreen, and flip-flops. Now, this word exercise is a 3-syllable word. And when you come across a longer word like this, make sure to sound it out and then blend all the sounds back together. Okay, so let's go ahead and read to find out who Grace visits and what she does once she gets there.